In a game that has so much going on in it like Apex Legends, there will constantly be things people are learning, even if they are veterans of the game. I myself have been playing since day one. I have thousands of hours in the game, have climbed to the top rank multiple times, and I still learn new stuff all the time. So hello everyone, I'm your hostess with the mostest, 8-Second Gaming, and in today's video I'm going to be dropping a whole bunch of tips on you to help you improve at Apex. So let's hop into tip number 1, and that's going to be if you want highly in-depth videos including legend guides, gameplay breakdown videos to show you how and where to position in fights and also what abilities to use, gun guides, and lots more content, you need to check out the GameLeap website. We have high-level players including myself making videos that I promise you will not find anywhere else, so click the link in the description and get your membership today. Now really, for tip number 1, I know a lot of people drop all their batteries and medkits to their team when they have gold armor, but that shouldn't always be the case. If your team had crafted a bunch of batteries or you aren't struggling on heals, try keeping one stack for yourself. It's actually slightly faster to use a battery than 2 cells, so you'll be back healed and in the fight just a tiny bit quicker. But if you only have a handful of batteries across your team, then make sure to pass them around and share. Tip number 2, if you are really struggling on leveling your Evo or just can't find a better shield, it only takes about 400 crafting materials to go from white armor to red armor. 400 is a lot, but I mean with this one you can just level it up as much as you can. 400 is just what it takes to go from white to red. Tip number 3, know when to stop healing. I know that it may be tempting to finish off that battery when you only have a couple seconds left on it. But if you stop to teamfire an enemy that overswung on your buddy, you can easily down him and go back to healing. Tip number 4, when using Valkyrie's ultimate or a redeploy balloon, make sure to use skydive emotes. This will make you a lot harder to hit because your character is flying all around the place. The harder you are to hit, the better your chances at surviving and not ending up on a Reddit montage of sniping people out of the air. Tip number 5, on the top of your screen there is a directional compass. It has numbers on it. If you are unaware of what to call when you spot a team, give the numbers to let your team know where they are. Sometimes they can't see pings. Tip number 6, if you play with a squad consistently, go through some unnamed parts of the map to make your own callouts for them. That way you can give extremely precise calls in fights and help you win those a lot more often. Tip number 7, if you bunny hop on the lava on World's Edge, you consistently reset the timer when you take damage, allowing you to traverse the lava without taking any ticks of damage, opening a lot more rotational options. Tip number 8, before you comment it, controller players can bunny hop as well. You can rebind some controls to make it easier, but you just have to time each hop. Tip number 9, if you are running a gun like a sniper or a marksman rifle and are able to poke during games, make sure to be trading armors with your team. You can level up all the armors and be better off for endgame. I can't tell you how many times I've gotten my team from white to purple in scrim games. Tip number 10, you can put heat shields, caustic traps, and Gibby bubble on tridents when you are driving around. This is really helpful on your rotations and can easily keep you alive on those riskier ones. Tip number 11, spend some time exploring a map if you aren't under pressure. You'll learn some really nice hiding spots that can come in handy when playing ranked to keep you alive and allow you to rack up some placement points. Tip number 12, don't run the same class of weapon during a game. What I mean by this is don't use 2 ARs or 2 SMGs. Try to spread yourself out a bit so that you're effective at multiple ranges. Tip number 13 is to use a gun that fits with your legend or role. Fast, highly aggressive guns for characters like Octane or more ranged suppressive guns for people like Gibby. Tip number 14, always be playing to your team comp's strengths. If you have a character like Watson on your team, you don't want to try to be running around to kill everyone. Find a building and hold that. You're playing a defensive legend, be defensive. Tip number 15, if you're struggling to find teammates to play with, try using Discords to find people. The GameLeap Discord is a perfect spot, but there are plenty of others out there that can help you find your forever team. Tip number 16, if a teammate pulls off a really nice play, hype them up. Let them know you saw it because they'll feel appreciated and will play better because of that. It's always nice to be told you did a good job. Tip number 17, when picking your character, the last person to pick will be the jump master unless they let it time out and the game picks for them. Then it goes to whomever picked their legend. If no one picked, then it randomizes who the jump master is. Tip number 18, also if you are last to pick, hover your legend because that will let your team know who you want to play. This will make it so that they are less likely to pick your main, but also they can pick a legend that complements your main so that you can build a team comp. Tip number 19, if you see your microphone icon lighting up and you aren't talking, that means you are picking up background noise like a fan or music or people that are near you talking. Either turn your microphone off or mute it because this stuff is very annoying. It also clogs up comms. Apex has really horrible audio to begin with. You don't need to add to that issue. Tip number 20, aim trainers like Kovacs or aim labs are great, but if you don't have access to them and still want to practice tracking, then load into the firing range and strafe around the dummies while keeping your crosshair on them. Change your direction frequently and keep your crosshair as close as you can on the dummy's head. This isn't perfect, but it's better than nothing. Tip number 21, a lot of guns in Apex have really bad iron sights. Make sure to save your crafting materials to get the really nice pay to win skins, stuff like the Avalanche for the R99 and the Merciless Wing for the Wingman. Tip number 22, also try to run darker skins on Legends. This will allow you to blend into shadows and dark spots on the map. You can hide a lot easier and be harder to hit sometimes, helping you stay alive. A perfect example of a skin like this is Airship Assassin for Wraith. Tip number 23 is I know a lot of people will carry attachments in case they find a gun they want to run, but it isn't worth overclogging your backpack if you don't need to. If you don't find that said gun by the time you leave your opening POI, drop the attachment and pick something more useful up. If you happen to run into a team while rotating, you'll be happy that you picked up that extra grenade or possibly even more ammo. Tip number 24 is a lot of people think Caustic and Gibby are slower than the other Legends, but that is a myth. All the Legends run at the same base speed. The only reason they seem slower is the arm moving animation is slower, so it gives that illusion. Tip number 25, if you aren't sure how to position in fights on your main, then you'll want to start checking out some streamers that play your character. That way you can watch what they do when they get into situations, and then you can play a game of your own. When they get into a fight, say in your head what you would do and see how it lines up with what they do. You'll learn a ton about how to win fights this way and be a lot better at your character. Tips are something everyone loves when it comes to Apex, and like I said, you learn stuff new every day. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and found out something new about Apex. If you did, remember to smash that like and subscribe button to stay up to date with even more Apex Legends tips and tricks videos. Thank you all for watching. Once again, I'm 8 Second Gaming, and I will see you in the next one.